Hello, Cancer, and welcome to your September 2021 reading. Be sure to check out your sun, moon, and rising for a more well-rounded perspective for this month. And if you would like something that's a bit more individual to your personal situation, feel free to check out the description box below for links to my sites. All right, let's go ahead and begin. We are starting with the Seven of Swords, and I feel like there has been a struggle for you, and the struggle has been predominantly in searching for or getting on top of the truth, or rather getting on top of the lies, bringing the truth on top of the lies. But there's just been a huge battle, and it's personal. Whatever it is, this is personal. So it's affected you in a way. Either it's affecting you as far as your reputation is concerned, possibly, or how something has been said or done and the lies have impacted you on a personal degree. But it's touching you in a way that is personal, and you've had to struggle. But for the most part, I'm getting an overall sense that the struggle has been very much resisting speaking up, just because you didn't want to stir the pot, rock the boat, that sort of energy. But you've reached a point where you feel like you cannot do that anymore. You cannot keep yourself closed in secrecy as far as how you stand on the matter. And so you've decided to arm yourself and begin to fight back. And there's definitely a little bit of a struggle as a result of this. And it starts out internal, because you definitely have to weigh the variables that are at play during this situation, whatever it may be. And also the variables of where this may take you, where you might end, what the end result might be. But overall, I feel like entering into the month of September, it's very heavy with struggling against truth and trying to figure out when you should take a stand and when you should be allowed to keep kind of in the shadows and off the radar sort of energy is what I'm getting. So you're just facing that juxtaposition, really trying to figure out what it is that where's your hard line? Where's the hard line? And when do you feel like personally feel like you have no choice and it's time to take a stand and beat down the lies, essentially. So however that applies, moving on, let's go ahead and see what the second card is. We have Ace of Swords. This battle, I feel, is going to be giving you a perception that you've not had before as far as your approach is concerned. So in the process of figuring out whatever this is that you're going through and figuring out how your approach is supposed to be, what it is that you're supposed to do to shield and arm yourself to get over the lies that are, playing I don't want to say threatening, but that is the word that comes to mind. So if that applies to you, but definitely is kind of creeping in and creating a bit of a chaos in your life to some degree. While you're going through this process, it's really going to help you with being a bit more creative in your thought process as far as how things impact you, how personal you do or do not take it, how, even if it is personal, how you respond to that, whatever the case may be. What's your approach? What's your response? Do you respond at all? Do you wait to respond? But overall, this is going to be kind of an opportunity for you to become more wise in your presentation of yourself, as well as self-preservation. But overall, as you move through this and we go into about the 2nd to 3rd week of September, this is going to be really high energy with a new perspective as far as how you think, how you calculate, how you go through the logistics of situations, and then of course how that influences moving forward as you move forward. Finally, we have the King of Cups, and this is just coming on, first of all, for some of you, this is coming on strong for a deity. So however that resonates, take that for those that may resonate with. But there's a deity connection that is coming through with this card for a great many of you. Also for whoever this applies to, it could be in combination with what I just said about this being a deity that's coming through, or it could just be separate. You know what you're going through, so you know how this applies. Take what resonates. But I feel like as you move through this, there's an overall sense of I'm getting the sense of someone who has a father or grandfather figure and an influence in your life, but from a very nurturing aspect. So, and I think that's why the grandfather's coming in through a little bit stronger than father figure, you know, someone who is aged and has wisdom and life experience and just knows how to be tender and knows how to even give tough love, and from a perspective that feels not quite as harsh. They're able to provide it in a very nurturing, very tender way. So there's a connection through all of this. There's a connection with this particular energy as you move towards the end of the month. And for some of you, like I said, it could be a deity. For some of you, it could be a spirit guide. For some of you, it can be an ancestor that you may have been working with or have been considering working with, or you have been just had that person heavy on your mind. And then for some of you, this is tapping into this aspect of yourself, opening up the doors to this archetype within yourself is available as you move through and get towards the end of the month of September. Finally, we have decisions as the final card. This process and even this connection that you'll have, you're eventually going to get to a point where you're going to have to face some basically crossroads, and it just depends on each person who's listening to this, because again, this is a very generalized reading, but there's some of you it's going to be big things that you're going to have to be making a decision on, and then for some of you it's going to be seemingly minor, but the end results or the ripple effect of that relatively seemingly minor situation or decision is going to have a ripple effect that's going to be greater, and a part of you knows that truth when you are coming up on those decisions. So just take your time, connect with whoever it is that you connect with in your spirituality, as far as helping you with your decision-making skills. And that can be deity, spirit guide, ancestors. It can also be just connecting with your higher self, whatever your spiritual approach is. This is going to be a time that you're going to want to really tap into that. And that's not just at the end of the month, that's through the whole month. So even with this circumstance, whatever it is that you're facing as far as trying to get on top of the lies and expose the truth for what it is, and also, you know, learning whatever it is that you need to learn for that wisdom as you work through the month. Connect with whoever it is that you need to connect with. It doesn't necessarily have to be who this person or deity or guide represents. You can connect with what it is that you normally do for guidance, but there's definitely a call for you to connect with divine intervention, divine connection, divine guidance as you move through this month, especially when you get to any part of the month that might feel a bit heavy or might feel like you need a little bit of extra help, however that may apply in the situation for you. But all in all, make some connections this month. We're definitely entering into the dark half of the year. So for those of us who are in the Northern Hemisphere, so, you know, if this is true for you, this is a time when the veil is going to be starting thinning. This is a time where we connect and feel the presence of spirit a lot heavier. So do what you need to do to make those connections to guide you, to move you through September and potentially even into the rest of this year, into the winter months in the Northern Hemisphere. All right, that's all I have for you, Cancer, as you move through September. I hope this reading has been everything that you were hoping for and more. Be sure to check out your sun, moon, and rising for a more well-rounded perspective. And if you would like to have something that's done for you in your personal situation, feel free to check out my website, links in the description box below. Other than that, have a wonderful month, and hopefully I will see you in the future video.